I think that in the cinema titles and serials, directors should write, "Any coincidence with real life is random," and "Do not try to repeat it at home," because sometimes they show amazing nonsense. Everyone, when watching a movie of any genre, should first of all understand that it is just a movie. Then the noticeable historical inconsistencies and the brainless action of the protagonists in various scientific fables will not be too upsetting. Nevertheless, today we want to dispel some stamped myths born by cinema industry that do not look like a perfect heresy, but in fact, they are. Number 1. Chloroform is not able to make a person sleep for a long time. Tales of criminals who neutralize victims with chloroform exist as long as the tradition of using this drug in medicine. In fact, there's not a single documented evidence that it was ever used to make a person sleep. To use chloroform as a sedative, its fumes should be inhaled for at least 5 minutes. And when your hypothetical victim loses consciousness, this does not mean that you can just tie it up, throw it in the trunk, and forget about it for a few hours. Firstly, to continue the action of chloroform, the victim must continue to inhale it. And secondly, it is necessary to watch that the cloth does not sink into the larynx and the person is suffocated. And for this, it is necessary to carefully hold it under the chin at all times. And incidentally, this is not shown in films, but inhaling chloroform often causes vomiting. In a word, chloroform brings nothing but trouble. Number 2. Silencers are not so silent. In fact, the silencers are mainly designed for the comfort of the shooter and not to make the shot absolutely noiseless. It is possible. Yes, of course, a pistol with a silencer fires more silent than the analog without it, but not soundless at all. Number 3. It is impossible to start a stopped heart with the help of a defibrillator. In Hollywood films, to revive a person with a stopped heart, it's enough to shout, "We're losing him!" and to press a defibrillator to his chest, not your own. In reality, this does not work. If the heart stops beating, then it can only be burned with a defibrillator. But not to disappoint you, we will say that the defibrillators are very useful when the heart rate breaks down and the ventricles begin to contract at the same time. The defibrillator helps to reboot the system. Number 4. The police cannot track the call immediately. In police movies, it is often necessary to prolong conversations with the offender. "Put down the phone." "No, you first." To determine his location. In fact, you can determine the location of the caller if the phone has a GPS system. But even if it's turned off, it is still possible. But the so-called triangulation will take about a half an hour. Number 5. A sinking person does it quietly. In the movies, we see that drowning people usually loudly call for help and wave their hands. In real life, things do not happen with such special effects. In fact, a person cannot scream because the air in their lungs is needed for breathing. And the time that he spends above the water surface is not enough to exhale, inhale, and call for help at the same time. And he uses his hands to keep his head above water. Moreover, all the movements are instinctive when sinking, and a person is incapable of meaningful action, for example, swim towards the shore or grab for anything. Like if you notice these stereotypes in real life. Subscribe if you like our videos and share with your friends. Thank you for the views. Have a nice day, bro.